Should logger.exception only be called inside an except block? Why? The docs for logger.exception mention this method should only be called from an exception handler. So usage should look something like this. But when I tried doing it the wrong way, behavior seemed to be just the same. What is the reason for that caveat mentioned in the docs? Is it actually true that we can only use it in an except block, for some subtle reason not evident here?
The method is designed for use in an exception handler. As such, the documentation tells you this, by using the word should, not must. In the text of standards, should and must are rigidly defined. One means we advise you to do it this way, it'd be much better if you did. The other means it's an outright error if you don't do this. See RFC 2119 for the IETF task force wording. All logging.exception does is set the exc_info keyword argument before calling logging.error. The exc_info argument is then later fleshed out to include the most recently handled exception, taken from sys.exc_info. It is then up to the formatter to include the exception message, via the formatter.format_exception method, to format the exception. Because sys.exc_info works both in the except suite and out, both variants work. From a code documentation point of view, it is just clearer if you use it in the except handler. You don't need to include the error message, really, because your log formatter should already do that for you. You can explicitly attach an exception to any log message with or any other 3-tuple value with the exception type, the exception value, and a traceback. Alternatively, set exc_info equals 1 to have the logger retrieve the information from sys.exc_info itself. See the documentation for logger.debug. exc_info which, if it does not evaluate as false, causes exception information to be added to the logging message. If an exception tuple, in the format returned by sys.exc_info, is provided, it is used. Otherwise, sys.exc_info is called to get the exception information.
The behavior is not really the same. The function logs the last raised exception, but only within an except block you can be sure this exception is actually the one happened in the try block belonging to the except block. Your example has an exception that always happens. In that, quite useless, corner case it really doesn't matter if the log.exception call is done in the except block or after it. Two examples to illustrate the difference. Versus. In the FIS code there is a 50% chance a zero division error happens, which is the logged. In the second code there is the same chance of the exception happening and it is logged if it happens. Now think what happens in the other 50% of the runs.